such a pleasure to see you, and it's so great to have Darcy back in the MCU. Now, a lot's been made of Darcy being a doctor now and her credentials. I'm so proud of her. I almost feel like I know her personally. Now, do you have a backstory made up in your head for that development, or is that something we're going to explore later on down the line in the MCU?
Well, first of all, thank you for saying that. That is very sweet. And I've been really overwhelmed with the sweetness of the internet. That's not something I ever thought I'd say. I really appreciate how nice people have been about Darcy. But yeah, it's funny. The main question I had for the writers was Darcy blipped? Like, what happened, right? So we decided amongst ourselves that she was not blipped. And while we don't see that flashback, I like to, as an actor, imagine Darcy in the blip, because that would be hilarious. So yeah, I think, the idea would be that Darcy was influenced by Jane Foster and Dr. Selvig to become an astrophysicist. So it's kind of fun to watch her evolution, and now she's a boss, she's a doctor. So I imagine she's just been in school and with her head in a book this whole time.
Now, as far as you know, when's the last time that Darcy saw Jane Foster?
That's a good question. Well, what we know is that the last time was in Thor: The Dark World. So I'd like to think that they saw each other more. I'd like to think that they have a text, phone call, FaceTime relationship. That's what I think they were in contact personally.
I do too, actually.
I bet Jane wrote her a letter of recommendation.
Absolutely. And Eric too.
100%.
So previously you commented about really getting into the action this time around in WandaVision. What's been your favorite part about portraying Darcy this time around?
Well, I mean, it never happens as an actor that you get to not only revisit a role, but bring that role full circle, right? So like I said, making her a doctor now, that's so gratifying to play because, she's a fun, college student, and now she's like a boss and she's an expert, and now she gets to tell people what's going on, so that's the most fun part for me. And I will say those words are very hard to pronounce, and I wanted to make sure I got them right. And they actually had an astrophysicist on set.
Oh, wow.
To help correct me if I said something wrong, or if the lines were a little bit right but a little bit wrong, she would come in and be like, actually it's this, and then we would change it to be accurate. So it was a really, really cool experience.
Now Darcy's having people get her coffee. I love it.
That's right.
That's right. Now, is it just me, or did I detect a little bit of chemistry between Darcy and Agent Will? Because Darcy's usually pretty cold to people, but it seems like she connects with him. And it seems kind of unlikely, but they're both kind of specialists in the roles. So is there a connection there?
Well, for the characters, certainly. I mean, I love Randall Park. He's a wonderful person, an amazing actor. So for me, that was just I was so excited to be in the scenes with him. But for those characters, I think there's that fun thing of two people that you never thought would be put together, from two completely different movies. Different parts of the MCU. So seeing that is just really fun. And I'm so glad people respond to it. It was fun to play. I love that scene with the potato chips. He's a joy. There's a lot more of that. So
I love that. Now, what's the biggest difference between working on these Marvel films? And this is our brand new kind of foray into the MCU television side on Disney Plus. What's been the biggest difference, or are they about the same?
Well, I'd say, it's shooting a show and shooting a movie are different, of course, and there's that thing of okay, we have to shoot this location out, so we're going to do this and, whatever. So there's always a logistical thing with the show. It's a little more controlled in a film, but Marvel is the best of the best. They're as good as it gets. So it didn't feel that different at all. They're on top of their game, and obviously everybody is the best at their job, and it's a real joy. That experience is pretty unheard of in the world of in indie films and eating ramen in a closet like I usually do on set.
I love it. Well, look, I can't wait to see more Darcy. Episode 4 blew my mind. So thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.